Now look, we go over this every year, like everybody else in pro wrestling does. I absolutely hate the way they do this list, and it's because of the time frame that they picked the freaking list to do the review for, from July 1st of 2022 to June 30th, 2023.
Makes no sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have the criteria? Criteria is championships won, level of competition, status in a promotion, and there's two other things. I forget what they are. Based off of this list, and you got to remember the time frame that it is, right? Number one, Cody Rhodes missed 6 months out of that time frame, should not be in the top 10.
Exactly.
Josh Alexander too.
Yeah.
He was out too.
But he wasn't out for 6 months of that run. And he was also the longest reigning Impact champion of all time during that time frame. So him being at number 9, I got no problem with it. If he would have been healthy, if he would have been healthy, he should have been top 5, maybe higher. If he would have been healthy that entire time, based on his run.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you have Jon Moxley at 3. And to me, this was a makeup from last year because they didn't put him in the top 10 last year.
Well, in this time frame, he held the title twice, so that's probably why.
You talking about the Punk the Punk injury title runs that he had?
The interim shit, yeah.
It's interim. Like I can't.
I'm not trying to make a claim for Moxley.
Sounds like yours. Sounds like
we got clip of the week coming up. Chris, the floor is yours.
I guess my biggest omission from this top 10 for me is where's Will Ospreay?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So
now, don't get me wrong, big Okada fan. Is he deserving of in the top 10 this past year?
I don't see it.
And where's Sonata?
Sonata. When did Sonata win the title?
Wrestle Kingdom?
Was that at Wrestle Kingdom? Okay, so 6 months. Okay, as champ.
But he won the G1 to get the spot for Wrestle Kingdom.
All right, yeah.
And he's been
500 the men's and women's, or
no, the women's is separate. Women's.
But I think I saw them putting some women in this year. It's like,
that's what I thought. Yeah,
adding women to this list if we're doing a separate women's list. Like, it made no sense.
I didn't look at the whole list. I just looked at this top 10.
I think I saw Masha Slamovich is in the top 25. It's like, not gonna argue against it, but it's like, why are we? It's not supposed to be the women's list. Like, if you want to combine the two for the top 500 male and female wrestlers, cool. But
yeah, and then if you're combining the two, then this top 10 is definitely way off because you have no women in it.
Yeah.
Shit for that. Rhea deserves to be in the top 5.
Yeah. We know, bro. It's like every list ever invented. It doesn't matter if it's wrestling top 500, if it's the top 50 rappers of all time, the top 100 of NFL players. It's done to generate people talking and debating.
You have Vikingo that high.
I mean, Cassidy deserves to be higher than Vikingo, but Vikingo, he puts in the work down. And was he from AAA?
AAA, he's been the champ the entire time. He's defended it on multiple continents. He's had tremendous matches. I got no problem with El Hijo del Vikingo being there at 5.
Another person we talked about all the time, Ilya. The man puts on matches.
Yeah.
Matches and matches.
By the criteria, though, Ilya did not have a belt. So
no belt, not a lot of main event feuds, unfortunately for him.
And he's doing it in NXT. So he's not on a main roster or not in New Japan or AEW. Like, Ilya, like when we do our year-end wrap-up and we give our Mount Rushmore wrestlers of the year, we're not doing, top 50. We're doing Mount Rushmore because that's what the gimmick is on the show. Ilya is going to be hard pressed to be knocked off of Mount Rushmore for wrestler of the year this year.
Yeah.
Kind of hard not to have him and Gunther already penciled in.
Here's everybody's jabroni. They said due to clerical area, Naito is not on the list at all.
Clerical.
How's that clerical error?
Didn't make the top 500.
It's always something with Naito. Just forgot about one of the main stars in New Japan.
Yeah.
Yo, you can't. Come on now. Talk one. We're not going to do that. Okay, Impact's been around for 20 years. Like, tell me they're not a real company is borderline. It's blasphemy to even say that. I would have Gunther at 3.
Yeah. Moxley down
And
a
then
few.
Seth, like, I'm trying to think back to like the July 2022. Wasn't that part of his losing streak? Like when he wasn't winning matches?
Yeah, but Seth's the workhorse.
Yeah.
He's been the workhorse on Raw for.
But win-loss record is part of the criteria. So if it's part of the criteria,
And he wasn't champ yet.
and he wasn't champ yet, and his win-loss record was that, like, how can you? I get putting him at number 1 based off of it being Seth and what he does, but given the time frame that they make this list and what it was, part of the criteria is win-loss record. To me, can't have him at number 1.
Oh, you sold with Roman at number 2.
He was champ the entire time. Doesn't have a loss on his name.
Yeah, undefeated.
Except for
He had one in this time
the
period
tag match.
because that was in June, right?
Yeah. He's been the top guy in arguably the top promotion. Like, but Roman doesn't wrestle. So to me, you got to knock him down.
Yeah.
You got to knock him down more pegs. I get why, but at the same time, like, you know, and leaving MJF out of the top 5 is kind of hard to digest too, especially when he won the belt at Full Gear.
I'd put him above Moxley.
For sure. He beat
Moxley. Yeah.
He beat
sure.
Moxley.
Yeah, for the belt.
That's like Texas beating Alabama, but then the top 25 rankings come out and Alabama is still ranked higher than Texas. It would make no sense.
I'd actually put Cassidy higher.
I would too.
I'd put Cassidy over Moxley.
I'd put him up.
Yes.
I would too.
I wouldn't put him over Gunther, but I'd put him over Moxley.
No. Now Gunther should be up in top 3.
Yeah.
I mean, you could make an argument based on what he did and the matches he had with the reign he had and the promotion that he's in. You could make an argument for Orange being top 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I could absolutely buy into that argument.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I say top 5. I wouldn't put him over Gunther if I had Gunther at my 3.
He was the workhorse of AEW.
Yes.
For that.
Yes, he was.
During that.
Pro, you've missed a couple weeks, but we're big on what the criteria is on this show now.
It is.
What was the deadline for this? Well, if you paid attention to the criteria, it was from July 1st, 2022 to June 30th, 2023. And then after June 30th, 2023, they debated, compiled the evidence, and then they released the rankings now.
Who's missing from the list?
That is a fiscal year.
The ultimate,
100% fiscal year.
the ultimate pizza tosser. That's who's missing.
For me, it's Ospreay.
Ospreay's the biggest miss.
Like I said, I didn't look at the list to see where he fell, but to have him not in the top 10 is just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some adjustments to make. I would bump Okada down. You got to have Sonata in the top 10.
Yeah, Cody's not even in the top 10.
Cody's not
Naito
top
in the
10.
list, period.
He missed 6 months.
That's actually a good question to find out. How if Almost is on the list and Naito's not on it.
I get the Shield gimmick. You sell magazines. There you go. People are going to buy it as a collector's edition. Yada yada yada. But I can make an argument for not even having those three guys in the top 3 or top 5 for all of them combined.
And everybody's still linking them all together. I mean, like, yeah, they were a group, but they haven't been a group in a long time.
Luigi Primo would be number 1 on that list, Dave. Luigi Primo, worst wrestler.
And this is how it always ranked the Shield in that order.
Rollins, Roman, Moxley.
Yep. Always in that order.
Taekwon, you're going to get banned from being able to comment on the show. There's no list that Tyrus gets put on. Period.
With no singles matches in how long? Since he won the belt?
Chris, to your point, what you said earlier, if they're gonna add women to this list, why is Camille not in the top 10 for being NWA champ for over 800 days?
Yeah.
If you're going to do it, just get rid of the women's list and combine them together. Top 500 wrestlers, period. You can keep tag teams separate. I'm cool with that because I think they were doing women's and men's tag teams together on that anyway. So feelings would get hurt on that one if they combine it. I think
it is what it is as far as why they did it. If I'm re-ranking this list just based on the top 10 alone, not including omissions and where people are that we think should be higher, but if I'm just looking at this top 10 and I'm redoing it based off of the criteria that they have for what I watched over that time frame, I'm gonna go Gunther 1, Cassidy 2, MJF 3, Seth 4, Roman 5. That's how I would re-rank this top 10.
That's my top 5. Just reworked.
Yep, that sounds right.
So there you have it. I think the Dumb Marks created a better top 10 list than what the PWI 500 did.